Hey, I wanted to make this short video to talk about why are so many people being either laid off or their jobs are being eliminated by the corporations. Well, this is what has actually happened. A lot of people are thinking that the economy is bad, inflation and all of that stuff. Yeah, inflation is up, but that's something that was going to happen anyways. Let me tell you the real reason why companies are laying off people, downsizing their workforce. It has nothing to do with the amount of money that they're making. So if you think about it, when COVID happened, it kind of forced businesses and people into a learning process that was gonna happen over a period of time anyways. What it actually did is it put probably a 10 to 15 to 20 year change that was gonna happen regardless in the United States, really globally. It shrunk it into, I would say, about a good 5 year span. But when we were going through what we were going through with COVID, it actually forced it to where the employers we as employers had to do things a certain way. We were demanded to do things a certain way. We had to do it a certain way. So we business owners made the adjustments, and then the workers, employees had to do things a certain way. So one of the things that you have to understand as a business, how business owners think, how we think, is that we want things to be consistent. We want consistency. The reason why we want consistency is because there's a whole bunch of other stuff that we got to worry about on a day-to-day basis, to where there's certain things that we know if we have this in order, we're going to at least be able to continue to bring in the revenue that we're bringing in, even if we make less. So when it comes to employees, this is one of the levels of consistency that we as business owners continually want to make sure that we have. The reason why is because, number one, as a business owner, you don't want to be the one out there doing the work. Now, with a small business, that's different. I'm talking about with large corporations. You don't want to be caught where you don't have the staffing, you don't have the people to continue up with your production. So you'll see companies where they'll overhire just to make sure that they come through for their clients, because the last thing that they want to do is to not come through for their clients. But when COVID happened, that whole thing there was like a testing ground that business owners was able to look at data to say, okay, do we need all of these people? But still, as business owners, we still were not getting rid of people. We wanted people, we want workers. You see advertisements all over the place for people. And then now on the other side, the flip side was employees started to learn, hey, I don't have to work in the office. I don't have to work fully all of the hours of the week, 40 hours, to be able to get everything that I was required to do, before COVID happened. Like people actually do work 40 hours a week, but they don't work 40 hours a week. And it became even more apparent when people were at home and they were getting stuff done, and all of a sudden they were like, I don't have to do nothing like Thursday and Friday. I got everything done on those 3 days. And then also employees started to learn that, hey, I don't have to even go to this type of job. I can earn money, delivering stuff, all of these other types of ways to work was forced into the workplace, where people were like looking at, hey, I can work here part of the time and here part of the time, and as long as I make my expenses, I'm good to go. That was forced on all of us. So business owners had a portion that was forced on us. Employees had a portion that was forced on them. But overall, it was an education process on both sides. Now, this is what how it has matured over the last few years, and why you're going to see massive layoffs And I even predict for even some small businesses where you will even start to see them lay off people, because unless it's a very labor intensive type business, you're going to even see them start to lay people off because of this reason. Business owners have learned from the way that employees have been coming back to work, not wanting to work in office, not wanting to work, calling in sick, all of these different things was happening. Business owners have finally learned, and I think it's about to peak this year in 2024, moving forward. It is going to be a huge peak, is that business owners have learned that they don't need as many employees that they thought they needed, because the production level of what they were able to get out of the employees that did show up to work either was the same or it exceeded their expectations. Either the same or exceeded their expectations. So if you go back to what I said earlier about business owners, we want consistency. If we can get consistency, we're willing to make changes in our business models. And so you're going to see corporations, because of the consistency is still there with less workers, or it has exceeded, which corporations are making more money right now, and they have made the determination that they don't need as many people to make more money. And when you have that hit right there, you're going to have a lot of companies laying off a lot of people. People are going to have to transition to other types of positions that businesses need, rather than just wanting to have people just to make sure that they're going to be able to produce and keep their production levels up, because that has been solved now. It took some years, and business people, we have fears just like anyone else, but because we're risk takers, we will end up just looking at the data and say, okay, now it's time to pull the trigger. And that's why you have so many corporations laying people off. Like, just flat out, you're like, how can Apple and Google and Facebook and all these companies, why would they want to lay people off? Yeah, they're going to give you some excuse. I mean, because you can't do something to a large amount of people without some excuse. But if you look at what they're doing in the stock market, look at their revenues. All of these companies have broken numbers with their revenues. All of them. Money is coming in left and right, but they had to come up with an excuse to be able to lay off these people. Now, something else that you need to take into account too is that we have another perfect storm coming, just like COVID came, but this perfect storm is actually a helper to business, and is the advent of AI. And we see that day by day, AI is reproducing itself in production, in capabilities, not at like a year-to-year level. We're talking about something could happen today and be improved by tomorrow, or by next week, or by next month. I've seen AI utilized for customer service, and you've seen it. And you might say, well, I don't want to, I want to talk to a human. I want to talk to a real person. Remember what I said earlier, because I'm giving you this advice. I'm giving you advice so you can transition and do some things that's going to, protect you and your family. You don't want to be caught out there with no job. So think about it. If a corporation feels comfortable enough to keep forcing AI customer service, you keep talking to an AI, like no matter what, we're going to push you to AI, Human is like the last choice. It's like you got to go through all of these things to get to a human, or you keep pushing 0, 0, 0, 0 to get to a human. Over time, because we know how we are as humans, business owners know how people can be programmed to make changes, is that if all of the companies participate in it, this was something that I learned a long time ago that I've really implemented in my business, is that if you watch what companies do, and if all of them are doing it, if all of them are doing it, at some point, because all of them are doing it, the general public is going to accept it. It's just like I can remember a time where the internet came out and people were like, I ain't going on the internet. Who wants to go on the internet? What is on the internet? And now you can't keep none of us off the internet. The internet is interwoven in our lives. This is how AI is it's going to happen. There are certain tools that you can use. My screen here went off. There are certain tools that you could use that makes your life easier utilizing AI. And believe it or not, by you playing with those tools, it actually starts to change your mindset and acceptance of AI. So on one side, you're using it to make your life easier. And on the other side, companies are trying to make their lives easier by not having to have employees do some of the work that AI can do. But you're over here having fun playing with AI. And then all of a sudden, at some point, AI is going to be woven into your life, and that's going to help you accept what companies introduce to you with AI. So keep your eyes open, because this is going to happen. There is no going back. There is no Terminator movie where everything's going to blow up and we're going to be able to go back to the past to fix something, to stop the AI machine and all of that stuff. And none of this crazy stuff that people are talking about with AI is going to happen. What we're going to do is we're going to, just like everything else progresses in our world, is that we're going to move up to a higher level of awareness. Certain things that humans used to do will not be done by humans anymore. Just like things that we do now are not done by humans anymore. It's done by machines. So, or like stuff that was done by horses is now done by a car. So things are going to change. No matter what, things are going to change. So you need to be prepared and understand where we are in this world right now. Don't be caught all the way thinking about the future. Don't be caught thinking about the past. Start to understand where you're at right now so you can make changes in your life. All right. Thank you for your time. I hope you appreciated this short video about why companies are laying off thousands of people. This is Stephen A. Williams with Blue Book MKE and Making